Hi everybody, welcome to January 20th to January 26th of 2020. We're going to be pulling general messages for all the signs, but we're going to front load with astrology like I did last time. I'm going to timestamp below in the description box. If you're not interested in this part, I'm going to go through a couple of transits that are happening in the sky, and then I'm going to pull a couple of astrology tarot cards, the Black Moon Tarot, for the general messages, and then I'm going to get into each of the signs. Okay, so starting on the 20th, we have the sun entering Aquarius, guys, at 9:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just apply that time to wherever you are on the planet. So the sun's going to be in Aquarius from the 20th of January to the 18th of February. And during this cycle, we're going to be especially motivated by a hunger for knowledge. Knowledge, experience, originality, something different, innovation, doing things outside of the box, that box that we normally function in. It's just more important to us than doing things as we have been, or maybe how we should be, because it is Aquarius. It's really out of the box, right? We are becoming more aware in this energy of what's outdated in our lives, and we'll be pushing to find new perspectives and new approaches to ways of doing things. To just structure, think about the structure that we've been feeling, right? Under Capricorn, right? It's been like very structure. There are like class distinctions. There's a sense of order that Capricorn finds really appealing, and that we really needed, right, to get this ball rolling, but now seems to be a bit too rigid to all of us. So the freedom of self and the individual is becoming really more important to all of us right now. And we're all feeling it in different areas. I did mention the houses that we're all going to be, and I've mentioned the houses in a couple of videos now at this point, that we're all going to be working through this year. So think about what I'm saying in relation to whatever house it is, right? So if you're Cancer, everything that I'm saying, you're going to be thinking about how to do relationships differently. If you're Virgo in your fifth house, you're going to be thinking about your hobbies and things that you do for fun differently. And you're going to be looking at your relationship with your children differently, right? It depends on, where this is placed. Okay. And I'm just going to keep talking about it probably for the rest of the year. So, but it's really about us striving to free ourselves from some restrictions and inhibitions and limitations that just feel really, really constraining rather than safe. Because for a minute it felt safe, but now it's not safe anymore, And then on the 24th, we have the new moon. New moon in Aquarius, 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the new moon in Aquarius marks the beginning of a new cycle for sure. The Capricorn new moon cycle ends, and this new moon cycle begins. And in Aquarius, it's friendship, group activities, socials pursuit, any sort of group gatherings, projects, trying something new, joining a new group, any sort of humanitarian effort actually even falls under this, but all of these things are going to be more of a focus than they have been. So there are new beginnings regarding any of these areas, right? Just really getting out there and getting involved in stuff. And this is a time during which we should solve problems that require thinking outside of the boxes, as I've been talking about. Really look to the future with a brand new positive and hopeful vision. Brainstorm, socialize, just focus on how things are going to be just moving forward, and expressing platonic love for those around us, and giving our emotions and our passions a break as we develop more objectivity and some detachment from past hurts and past haunts, and just connecting with friends, guys. Like seriously, if you don't have friends, then it could be your family, it could be your colleagues, but it's really embracing, friends, family, neighbors, any group activity, anything like that really can be focused on here in such a beautiful way, right? So reaching out to people in your social circle, reaching out to your tribe, and just like recognizing here the value of those friendships and those networks. And also, though, recognize at some level, guys, these people are kind of like your ticket out of, I'm going to call it stage one. I'm going to call January stage one. It's month one, it's stage one of this new shift into this new life, into this new cycle. And I know we've all been feeling it. Oh my gosh, right? It's been big. It's been big. Obviously, depending on where it's hitting you, it's going to be a little more ground shaking than for others, but you definitely want to be looking at your rising sign for this one, guys, for sure. Absolutely. All right. But these friends and family members and our group are going to be helping us to be able to have a sense of detachment from whatever is challenging us to break away from, because there is this breaking away, right, with Saturn and this transformation with Pluto. So we're really going to be needing to rely on our friends, our family, our hobbies, other activities to pivot our thoughts and our attentions to just give us a breather so we can start to heal and move. It's stage one. It's stage one. And with this potent Aquarius energy, we have the chance to make progressive changes in our lives. For some of us, circumstances are such that we need to pay more attention to these matters rather than divert our attention. It does depend on the placement. Now, this phase of the moon is going to be happening at 4 degrees and 22 minutes of Aquarius, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately 0 to 8 degrees of the fixed sign. So that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius most significantly. We're all going to be feeling it, but those 4 signs and those degrees are going to be feeling it really much more profoundly, okay, than anyone else. So let's pull a couple of Black Moon Tarot to get a collective message of what we have as we enter this last part. I'm calling it the last part of phase 1 here. 3rd house, okay. It's about communication, messages. This has to do with Mercury, right? So especially like Gemini and Virgo. Saturn, well, of course. Oh, Saturn, I don't know. I'm getting a little tired of you now. And it just started. Okay, so we have Saturn and we have 3rd house messages, okay? So the 3rd house messages, again, anything mercurial. So this is how you think, feel, write, communicate, anything like that. This is you needing to look at how you're communicating, assess if you're communicating effectively enough, if you are not being too harsh, if you need to change things up in the way you communicate. Now, the fact that we got the 3rd house with Saturn says that you're going to be getting in touch here in this 3rd house energy with something that's very old and outdated. Saturn does that anyway, but you're going to be getting messages, synchronistic messages coming into your life that's really going to be highlighting what really needs to go, what like literally has become like necrotic. Do you know what I mean? Like dying skin. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of like that in a way. It takes a long time to happen, but when it happens, it just starts to like fall off, right? So this is what's really happening here. And Saturn with the truth, I mean, this says it might feel bad now, but it's going to be resolved. Saturn's the planet, it's the planet of the Reaper, the Lord of Karma. And this, it's a rainbow planet, represents what's tangible and solid in our lives. The Greeks called Saturn Kronos. So a lot of you guys might have heard Kronos and Saturn being used interchangeably. So we could thank the Greeks for that. And Kronos was the father of Zeus. And Kronos devoured his children to prevent losing his throne as the king of the gods. So Saturn in astrology is often referred to as the god who ate his own children. Isn't that lovely, right? Because of the energy of this planet seems to show no mercy. But Saturn is not exactly cruelty. It simply points out what's true and cuts away what's delusional or no longer useful in our life. So, this is definitely a time where you're going to feel challenged. We're all feeling it anyway. This is like, I'm like preaching to the choir here. You guys all know this. But it's time to make it or break it, guys, for real. I mean, the fact that this came up is important. Life may seem harsh and very restrictive right now. The truth of the matter is you're facing an enemy who may be yourself right now. And Saturn shows us that at times it's in our better interest, not to have those things we want. And that if we were to have them, it could only ultimately lead to our destruction. And that really is so true. So if this is a time for any of you where you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling hopeless, realize that it's all about the diligence and sticking to what you believe in, adhering to your goals, to what you know is right. As this is a period in your life that emphasizing toughness and work is really important. It's all about not giving up and following through, and there's so much goodness on the other side of this. So much good. So we're going to be looking at stuff that's got to go. Yep, that's what we have, and that is the astrology section, guys. Let's pull some cards. Hi, Sagittarius. I hope you guys are doing great. Thanks for hanging in with me. We're going to get right into your messages. General messages for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's first pull a Wisdom of the Oracle, Crowning Energy. Guys, if the messages don't fit, please don't try to make them. Remember, the energy can be flip-flop. And definitely check your Rising Sun, Moon, Sun, and Venus for the most complete message of the energies that you guys are dealing with this month, or this week. And we are going to be dealing with the 20th to the 26th of January. Time to go. Don't get nervous. This is more of a cycle energy, okay? It's definitely more of a cycle energy. So for those of you who are here with a career on your heart, right, with a job on your heart, this message is pretty clear. The path that you've been on with your work, with your creative projects and your business connections have come to an end. Okay, that's okay. You're not going to find success, the success that you're desiring, by continuing with what is now in front of you. So this is a really auspicious sign, because there's no choice that'll benefit you other than really risking stepping into the unknown. So it's time to walk towards something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. Like, you finished a task and you can rest assured that this ending is going to open up a powerful new avenue of opportunity, even better than what you see for yourself right now. So that's really good. Yeah, I mean, really, you've done all you can in this area. So now just trust that Spirit's going to kick in and take over. You know, because this success is going to require that you conclude this chapter of your life. That's the thing. And remember that when you close one door, another one opens. So this is what I'm saying. It's more about like a cyclical kind of energy, you know. Now, if you're here with relationship on your heart, the relationship as it's been is over. Or at the very least, the form of this relationship is no longer of service to you or to the other person. So this is a time of really letting go and of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion in the way that it's been, but that doesn't mean it's lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup or a drifting apart or the end of a soul contract, it's more about the release than the destruction, if that makes sense. So you guys remember this saying, I'm sure you've heard that saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it was yours. If not, it never was. That old saying. So endings are always a sign, though, of a new beginning, especially in this energy that we're dealing with now with this Pluto energy. It's all about transformation, right? So if you want something deeper in your heart space having to do with relationship, it's time to walk away for a minute. It's time to take a break from it. And the thing is, even if it appears that you've reached the end of the line in something, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, and that, you know, all is lost, it's not in this energy. You're in a situation that's going to resurface again later. So consider this a break rather than an ending, because destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you just surrender to the fact, you know, that we have free will. And for the most part, we drive our own car, right, in our life. But there is something to be said about destiny. You know, so your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. So, you know, your small self, right, inside of you, Sag, you might have doubts, but that's natural, really. And it doesn't have the map of your destiny on it, right? Your soul does. Your soul has the map of your destiny. So this is really about just trusting, just having trust. It's kind of a big crowning energy, but it was necessary to talk about the different ways we can understand it, right? Because we are here going to be talking about relationship, career, friendship, family connections. And then after we do a Celtic cross spread for you guys, I am going to be pulling for love only, a little bit more detailed in the love this week, because a lot of people have been asking for more detail in love. So we'll pull a bunch of oracles and then some qualifiers. So let's pull the spread first, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, this pretty much lines up with your crowning, for sure. Let's get right into it. The foundation here for your situation during this time period is the Two of Fire in reverse. So this is the Two of Wands, okay? So, you know, here we're talking about not being able to see that first next step that you have to take. There's a new beginning here and you're just not sure. And in the reverse, it indicates that you have a little bit of analysis paralysis right now when it comes to something. So, you know, this could be a little bit of a challenge. This is a Mars and Aries energy, you know. So what is, you know, Mars is about, you know, just getting things started. And then there's Aries, which is the first of the zodiac, the baby of the zodiac. It's all about newness. So having to do with this new track that you're on. But in the reverse, it's, I'm really not sure where I'm going. And I'm sure it's because of the Tower. And the Tower was reversed here, which just indicates that there's a lot of pain and a lot of guilt or a lot of, you know, disappointment, betrayal. And this could have to do with a job or any kind of relationship. But it's the tearing down of a way that something was at one point in a way that was not healthy for any of you to move forward in. It's like that job was never going to bring you what you needed to do, or a chapter in your work has ended and now you're on to another stage. That relationship could not continue the way it was. It was just way too toxic. It wasn't serving anyone. Not the way it was. But the Tower does also, can happen internally, guys. So this is, I mean, I want to really emphasize that especially with the energies that we have going on in the sky right now, internal towers are happening everywhere, and that is really looking at and realizing that the way we've been thinking up to now needs to be updated. So it's the tearing down of an old set of ideas, a way we've been working, a way we've been doing relationship, a way we've been thinking about relationship, thinking about jobs, career. What does it mean to be successful? What does it mean to be in a happy, healthy relationship? What does that mean? You know, where is the absolute definition of that? Well, there isn't one. So this is really getting in touch with you rewriting and reassessing what's necessary on your path. Because remember, 2020 is all about finding that ultimate soul peace. And what does that sound so airy-fairy, right? It's about getting on the right path, right? So in whatever part of your life that this is speaking to you in, it's not meant to stay the way it was. And I know that's horrible when we don't want to go through the change. There's nothing fun about it, but it's necessary. It's really necessary. And I always say, you know, because going back to the time to go, those of you who've been watching me know, I always say with the Tower card, if you have a Tower moment with somebody who's of equal ilk to you, meaning they're of the same constitution mentally, emotionally, you guys still have a lot of love, or there's a lot of strong desire to make something work, I don't care what kind of connection it is, there's nothing wrong with going through that transformation together if both people are on the same page. It doesn't mean something's not going to be over and some space doesn't need to be had, but that doesn't mean that there can't be a revisiting of it if there's any healthy elements left to it. There's no reason. And then as the crowning, we have the Page of Water, which is the Page of Cups and a new cycle in the heart space. So this is really lovely. And I love it with the Three of Earths as the foundation. So the Three of Earth is the Three of Pentacles, and this is the Architect card. This is the card of building, right? So I love that, you know. This is a Mars and Capricorn energy. It's like, yeah, you know, Mars is going to come in, and with the Saturn, you know, ruling Capricorn, good work is going to get done. Everything's going to be laid out where, you know, what is it all going to look like moving forward? So this was very, very necessary. Because you're coming from a place of not really knowing where you're going. not knowing that first step to take, this thing falling apart, needing to be rebuilt, and there being a new cycle. But as soon as this comes down, it's like a new cycle right there that's going to be bringing you to building. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. Now, in the recent past, we have the Six of Air, which is the Six of Swords in reverse, which tells me that you recognize that you were involved in something that was toxic. You know, I mean, you recognize it. And the thing is here, even if you couldn't, there's a leaving here, right? There's the whole idea of the Six of Swords is a leaving something toxic to move into a healthier space. But sometimes we can't leave. Maybe you couldn't leave. Maybe you had to stay in that job, in that relationship. So it's like leaving mentally, creating space, right? But definitely a recognition of something not being okay, something being toxic, which of course, because we go from that to the Tower. So that makes perfect sense. Okay. So right now, we have you as the Nine of Earth reverse. Nine of Earth reverse. And this is a Venus in Virgo. So Venus is all about, you know, your hopes for the future are having to do with anything in your love space. And Virgo is very, first of all, super pensive energy. I think about Virgo. And let's remember that Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which has to do with communication. So I'm getting for a lot, and it's Nine of Pentacles in itself indicates wish fulfillment, but it's in reverse. So I get that your wish, you're in a space of feeling like your wishes are not being fulfilled because there's a lack of communication having to do with something in your heart space, having to do with a relationship or a job. And it's you kind of feeling like you're trapped in a bit of a pause button, is what I'm getting here. Now, the energy external to you, this is not you, this is external to you, that's influencing you. I couldn't find my word there. We have the four of fire, which is the Four of Wands. This is a beautiful energy, guys. This is the card of engagement, of marriage, of strong commitment. If this has to do with a job, it's this idea of having a really strong foundation. I mean, this is nice. This is Jupiter and Libra energy, you know, which is about luck and expansion through fairness and all of these wonderful, delicious feelings. And this is an external influence to you. Now, what I'm getting is that this is very much something that you want, or somebody is offering this to you, but you're in this, I don't know if you're in this analysis paralysis mode. We're going to have to pull some cards on that. Your fear is the Seven of Water. So listen, somebody might be offering you something and you may not trust it, because the Seven of Water is just not knowing all the information. It's just not, you know, you guys watching me know the spiel with the Seven of Cups. We know what's in Five of the Cups. We don't know what's in Two. And then what does the human condition do but fill in what we think might be in those two cups? And we're usually off base with that, you know. So I get that this is the fear. Fearing that not everything is clear, so you're not sure if you should trust it. You know? I mean, and that's always anything with the water energies. You know, because this is a Venus and Scorpio energy. Right? And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is about transformation. So this is about the emotions transforming and you feeling really like scared of this. Scared of the change that's happening. Scared of what you don't know. It's on the other side, you know. And then the outcome of this is the Hermit energy. The Hermit energy is Virgo. Some of you guys might be dealing with the Virgo, but the Hermit energy is about taking the mental space out to do some really good thinking. So I really like this with the Time to Go card, because that is exactly what it means. It's like, recognize that whatever cycle you're in is done and you need to take a little space and think, and then recognize that whenever this comes back around, it's going to be deeper and stronger than it was before. Yeah, because then look what we have for the near future is the Queen of Fire. It's the Queen of Swords. This is beautiful energy. Beautiful energy, Virgo and Libra. Virgo and Libra. Nice. I mean, these are nice. This is air energy, right? It's fire. It's fire, but the astrological association is to air, right? So what's happening here? This is about communication coming in of some sort that's going to make you feel so fired up, so excited, so motivated, and you're just going to feel like regrounded in this energy. Very motivated, lots of passion as a result of a message coming in. So I really like that. But let's figure out that these guys here, we have the 9 of Earth. So it's like wish fulfillment is in reverse, but then we have like the card of commitment and foundation. So, you know, this could be, you know, a position, some sort of career opportunity promising you that it's going to be something that's really benefic for you, that where you're going to be able to grow and have a really strong foundation, but you in this space of not trusting it, or somebody wanting to move forward with you in a way and you just not trusting it. How come? Queen of Earth reverse, Sun reverse, World reverse. What in the name of heaven? King of Fire. Okay, I mean, listen. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. In reverse. So this is telling me that you don't feel like this person or this situation is really going to be able to bring you what you need to show up in the way of being that kind of... Okay, because the Earth is Pentacle, and Pentacle, of course, is money. So it could be you fearing that that person is not going to show up with money, contributing in the way that they need to contribute, having to do with finances, or this idea of mental, emotional, and physical connection, but in a way where it feels like home to you. Do you know what I mean? Where you're fearing that you're just not going to be really happy in it. And then we have the Sun reverse, and this indicates somebody getting in your way. Somebody is blocking you. Something is blocking you, having to do with this 4 of fire energy. You having that sun. But the thing is, the sun is still positive when you get it. When it shows up in a reading, it means you're still getting it. Something has to be put to rest in order for this sun to go upright. And then we have the World reverse. I mean, you have 2 of the most powerful cards in the deck right next to each other. The Sun and the World are the two most powerful major arcanas. And somebody is in your way. Something is getting in your way for moving forward to having this. Now, I don't know who's thinking about somebody from their past who is having this opportunity offered and they just don't know if they could do it. Who's just not knowing if they could trust somebody, a situation. King of Fire, though, I mean, this is about will. This is such a strong will energy. This is a Cancer and Leo energy, guys. So, I mean, this is about that home feeling, and in a really excited way where you feel like fire, fiery passion for it. But right now you're feeling like something or somebody is in your way. Oh, man. I have to pull more cards. It's like 2. What came out? 3 of Fire. Okay, so now at least you see yourself moving forward. Well, that's good. 3 of Fire is 3 of Wands. It's turning your back on a situation, though, a cycle that you've been involved in order to venture forward. That's what the 3 of Fire is. The Hierophant. Your question. Okay. No, I'm not going to say anything yet. Hold on. I need to. All right. Okay. So we have the Hierophant reverse, which is really about your religion, right? Your religious belief, your spirituality. For those of you who don't follow, an organized religion, this is Taurus, right? So think about getting really like, because Taurus is the bull. So this is about you thinking about your spirituality, your religion, the way you've been viewing your thought process, the way you've been framing reality and questioning all of it. You're questioning all of it. Not in a bad way. This is in a really good way. Like you're rethinking and reassessing how you were brought up, how society, has it figured out that we should all be and do, right? And then we have the 8 of water. And the 8 of water is walking away from something, recognizing that something is just simply not serving you. And it's making the decision that in the moment you need to walk away from how it was. Okay? And then we have Fortune's Wheel, which is all about fate and synchronicity happening. So something very synchronistic is going to end up happening here. And I feel like it's going to bring you to this Queen of Fire energy. Something very synchronistic. Fated and synchronistic. Yep. Let's 2 more cards, please. Okay. Yeah, so I just feel like there is a lot of emotion here, but you guys are in this space of, you know, recognizing any negativity in whatever situation this is, whether it's a job or relationship, it doesn't matter. But the 5 of water, 5 of cups in reverse, is more positive than in the upright, because it shows like the worst part of the cycle is over, and you're recognizing, you're seeing what was in like 3 of the cups in the regular tarot. 3 of the cups are spilt over. Cups are emotions, but there are still 2 cups standing. And this is you tapping into what's left in those 2 cups. And you're recognizing your value, and you're recognizing what you offer and bring to a relationship and a situation. And you're also looking at the value in the job, the value in that person, that friend, that intimate relationship. You're going to be able to step away and recognize the value. I mean, and this is just really, really beautiful, because then this is going to end up bringing you to a beautiful heart space where things are really going to just start clicking together. But I love the Fortune's Wheel, because that's all about serendipity at work here. So nice stuff. Yeah, so, I mean, it really is in alignment with that crowning. Time to go, step away for a little bit. Just recognize that a cycle as it's been is over. And it's the kind of energy where it's like, yeah, good, because it should be. I don't want to be in that anymore, kind of thing. Because clearly this thing was really not very good for you, Sagittarius. So let's pull a Whisper of Love Oracle. Turn on your heart light. Reflect on a time when you experienced love. Yeah, so this is really tapping into, you know, because sometimes when we're in relationships and things don't go very well, it's very hard sometimes to tap back into any level of innocence and purity that we had as far as how we view love and how we view relationships, you know. It's very hard to tap back into that, because when we're dealing with a lot of pain, that becomes front and center. The struggles become front and center. The fights, the aggravation, or even if you don't have any of that, the element and feeling of something that might be missing. Okay? Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. I can't like these silly cards. Okay, one more go. Okay, somebody wants to come out. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. Okay. Let's get some Island Time Wellness. Could always count on these to give us the smack of reality. And then we'll pull some qualifiers. Because I do find oracles, most oracles, to be rather general for my taste as a reader. You know, I don't like those sweeping generalities. I want to know like the meat and potatoes and stuff, you know. And these do give it. These silly little black cards, I actually connect with them really well. Some good messages here. Right? Okay, so we're going to pull 3. Yeah, girl talk. I was thinking about that card. Because girl talk is about, it's about moving on, but it's not, it doesn't have to be permanently. And it's time with friends, living in the moment, having fun, happily single. And what I say, everyone's situation is going to be different, guys. I mean, obviously, if there's an ending to a situation and, you know, this person was very toxic, you're probably feeling, while a great deal of pain, in another compartment of yourself, you're feeling a sense of peace and release and relief, right? So this is you doing that. Then we have paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying one another. Enjoying one another. And then we have separation, the sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. Unsure of the future. Okay. So, I mean, I like the heart oracles. These are good messages here. Beware of what you're projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. And then this one is about acceptance, being the key to inner peace. Yeah. Yeah, so we have the Queen of Cups, reverse, right? No kidding. So this is going to give us a narrative that we need to understand here. Four of Cups, reverse, Nine of Cups, reverse, the Hermit, another Hermit energy. Knight of Swords. Nice. So crazy how these last 2 or 3 cards always kind of bring it back home. All right, so, you know, definitely close down in the heart space here. Either you, the other person, or both of you. We have this Four of Cups energy reverse. So there was this idea of restlessness, just feeling very disillusioned, disappointed in this relationship. And it's the kind of disappointment, though. I always call this my checklist card. It's about, well, I can't be with them because they did A, B, and C. And if I ever got back with them, they would have to do D, E, and F. Otherwise, I would never be able to stay, right? It's like putting these kind of restrictions on them, right? But you have to go a little deeper than that, because in the reverse, this is pushing you to really look at what about that dynamic? What about what's missing? What about that A, B, and C bothered you so much? Like, really look under how it made you feel. Did it make you feel disrespected, not valued? Right? Discounted in some way, disrespected, but really getting in touch with that, you know, really getting in touch with that. And then the Knight of Cups, it's just like boom, boom. We get the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, that, and in the center of it is this Four of Cups energy, this checklist. So it's like, I'm getting that you guys are not like, there's a shutdown of the heart space on both sides here. It's this holding back of emotions, holding back of love. But then we're going to be entering this hermit energy. Entering that Virgo hermit energy, you know, very deep, very deep. Knight of Swords, it's time for the truth to come out. You did some thinking, now it's time for some real tea spilling. How have you been really feeling? What's your perspective? Like, no dancing around things anymore. This is about coming in and really wanting to communicate, really wanting to speak the truth, really wanting to speak the truth. But there's some sort of delay here. There's some sort of delay. There's some sort of delay, lack of passion to have this conversation. But you're going to have it. I mean, we have the Knight of Pentacles. You know, I like the Knight of Pentacles because this is, first of all, this is a Leo and Virgo energy. So for those of you who are dealing maybe with a Leo or a Virgo, but you think about Leo and Virgo, Leo's just love and fun and connection, and Virgo is communication, right? Earthy communication ruled by Mercury. So this is really wanting to have this communication, wanting this earthy connection with you. You wanting this earthy connection with them. When I say earthy connection, I mean like a solid connection in the 3D, mental, physical, emotional connection. And this is somebody offering it to you. And this is a new passionate beginning. Ace of Wands. There's will and there's a lot of passion. Yep. So the way I'm understanding this, for those of you who resonate with this as a relationship, there's definitely a cycle ending, something done. It might be done already. I mean, the Tower could have happened. Energy doesn't understand 1 week from the next. It just really doesn't. And there being this shifting, like there being a closing down, then a lot of thinking, a lot of thinking, a lot of thinking, and some space. Message coming in, you guys are going to be communicating, and you're going to be able to find a new normal, a healthy new normal that speaks to you guys more. Okay. Now, for others of you, if this is a very, very toxic relationship, this tells me you're going to be spending some time with your friends. You're really going to be embracing the separation. You know that it's very necessary. You really do. You're just going to be trying to have a really good time. You know, just doing you, enjoying life. Many of you are going to feel like you're in shutdown mode, shutdown mode. But some time is going to pass, and you're going to be realizing that being totally shut down is really not the healthy way to be. And you're going to be really getting in touch with that. But not right away. You know, you're not really looking to jump into anything right away. But this does indicate, if this is resonating with you, that you are going to meet somebody new with this Knight of Pentacles energy, where you're going to have a really beautiful, you know, passionate, sexy new beginning here with the Wand. Yep. Very nice. So nice. I mean, I like how it turns out either way. You're going to have to go through it a little bit though, but just allow the cycle to finish so that this new one, this more positive one, can be brought in for you. Thanks, Sag, so much for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.